I'm pretty sure that you're all just absolutely sick and tired of hearing about the Nintendo Switch right now, and all these videos where people saying it's gonna fail and it's gonna succeed. Well, guess what? It's time for me to make one. So on January 12th, the world finally saw Nintendo raise the curtains on their much anticipated console, the Nintendo Switch. And for the most part, I actually kind of thought it went well. I mean, quite a few of the things that they showed off had me as a Nintendo fan pretty darn happy. The console isn't more than $300. It has a pure matte finish around it. They're taking online more seriously, and holy sweet Mary Jesus balls, there's no more region locking. No more. It's gone. I mean, I can't get over that. Wow, there's no more glossy dumpster garbage and no region locking. Just wow! So Nintendo slyly, like the sly little slyish beautiful bastards they are, decided to drop all the thick baloney on top of us the next day. And let's talk about that because I currently feel like causing my brain to bleed. So yeah, that storage size, 32 gigabytes on a brand new console in 2017. How is that even considered acceptable in a day and age where the average AAA game seems to be around 20 gigabytes? I don't even really have anything else to say about that. And the next major issue. What the hell is going on with their online ecosystem? I mean, are we getting free virtual console games? Or is there party chat? Is it only in their mobile app? Can you plug in an Ethernet cable? Or are they actually going to put more online play into their games? What's the online store going to look like? There's so much unknown here, and what we do know isn't exactly that great. I mean, first off, the online service is something you're now required to pay for. And okay, I don't really have that much of an issue with that because it's kind of like PlayStation Plus in that regard, but that's about it. PlayStation Plus sounds like an exponentially better deal with the loads of free games you get for life. There's stable online servers, cloud saves, and more. So if this causes Nintendo to keep up more with the servers and start implementing online play into many other games, then I'll take my horrendously loud mouth and stuff it full of amiibos until they start shooting out of my ass. But this just comes off as another showcase of Nintendo being lazy and just dragging their ass when it comes to bringing themselves into the 21st century. And I'm gonna hold off the onslaught of judgment until we get more information, but as it stands right now, the features ain't looking that great. For God's sakes, what we've been told, the voice chat's tied to an application on your phone. Your phone that already has Discord and Skype. And it's a phone. And by far the most damning of their issues is the price of those vibrators. $50 for one. Nintendo, I can hop on Amazon and pick up a bigger one with a much larger color selection for less than half the price. What's going on here? But really, the accessories are overpriced to ship. Yeah, it's not really like the worst thing in the world. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would much rather see them overcharged on accessories, but actually have a steady amount of games coming out, or again, not have region locking. It just comes across more as like petty in my opinion, because when you look at the competition, their pricing is just off. For starters, the Pro Controller is $70. That is just not worth that. Yeah, it has gyro in it. Yeah, it has a good battery, but look at the DualShock 4. It also has gyro in it, but along with that, it has a touchpad, a light bar, and a headphone jack. All of those make that controller a much more premium item, and the only great thing about the Switch Pro Controller seems to be that it's reported to have a better battery, which is nice to have, but it's not a necessity. I would much rather have a headphone jack than that. And then, there's the $90 dock. For a charger and an HDMI cable, basically. What the hell? So yeah, compared to the competition, the Switch may not look that much more appealing because to the masses, it may just seem yet like another 300-ish console, but it's not gonna have as many games on it as the PS4 and the Xbox One, at least not when it first comes out. And with the added cost of the Joy-Cons, the Pro Controller, and the dock, people may not adopt the perception that this console is going to be something that's really worth the money. They may think it's just too expensive, and it doesn't even come with a pack-in game. I'm not saying this is going to be the thing that buries the Switch, but I do wonder how much of an impact it's actually going to have. I'd just like to interject one thing here. I definitely think Nintendo thought their presentation was a lot cooler and quirkier than it actually was. Newsflash, Nintendo, nothing will ever be as cool as, let's just say, something like the intro to Mask. That was cool.
Masked crusaders working overtime, fighting crime, secret raiders who will neutralize soon as they arrive. The soundtrack is gonna lead the mission, and Spectrum's got such supervision. Masked is the mighty power that can save the day.
I'm sure that you clicked on this video because of the title, so here it finally is. I don't think the Switch is gonna fail, but it's definitely not making their investors shoot up out of their seats like they just sat on a bar of gold. Yeah! And let me explain why I don't think it's gonna fail. This console represents a newer Nintendo, a fresher Nintendo. This was a company that up until now forced people to buy proprietary hardware and didn't even allow you to import games. They didn't have to change either of those things with the Switch, but they looked at what they were doing and decided, maybe we shouldn't be assholes this time around. And that instills me with hope. Powerful hope that even with the wacky decisions Nintendo's made with this console, they could still pull this off. I definitely don't see this thing selling gangbusters, but right now, they need to see some growth, and they've piqued the interest of the public so much that I actually do overhear random people on the street mentioning it. People from small children up until like 35-year-olds. There's excitement buzzing about this console because it's just something so wildly new, yet it feels like classic Nintendo. It's weird and quirky and downright strange at times. But there's something that keeps drawing me back to it. Look, I still feel burned with the day one purchase of the Wii U. It does have great games for it. I'm not denying that. But it never truly felt like it had the massive mic drops of games like Mario 64, things like Final Fantasy VI and Wind Waker, even though it literally had a port of Wind Waker. I don't even have the Switch and I already feel completely different about it because it's launching with a new Zelda. We're getting a follow-up to arguably the greatest JRPG of the last generation, another amazing Warriors crossover game. Holy shit. And finally, a return to form for the Mario franchise. I mean, look at this. There's interesting things, and I've not seen one Koopaling yet. Nintendo more than likely is not gonna smoke a home run Wii Sports style with this console, but they're definitely turning their company mentality around, and it is exciting. It's an exciting time right now to be a Nintendo fan. Even though I'm not getting a Switch at launch, I'm still like simultaneously pumped out of my mind for this and a little wary. I'm definitely gonna hop on like the hype train for this eventually, probably when Fire Emblem Warriors comes out, because plow my anus, that looks incredible. Even with all the bad press right now, I still believe that Nintendo can do this. Like, they can actually pull this thing off. They can at least get it to the point where it's not going to be a failure. And I know that sounds like I'm accepting mediocrity, but I'm really not. They can definitely do this. I guess one could say that they could get back into the game with this. I'll just go kill myself now.